Do you or your employees feel overwhelmed with the amount of change in your organization? Yet, as a leader, you feel like we have no choice because to stay relevant, competitive, and grow, our organization needs to be continually changing. In an age of constant change, it's easy to get caught up in a debilitating cycle of change that leads to change fatigue. And in this video, I want to share with you one new skill that will allow you to take control of change, reduce that sense of overwhelm, and achieve your goals. If you are new here, I'm Dr. Dawn-Marie Turner, President of Turner Change Management. I'm a change leadership coach, author, and creator of the Readiness Mindset. I've been helping leaders for over 20 years use science-based strategies to create healthier, stronger organizations because of change, instead of simply surviving in spite of it. Creating an organization that can use change to power growth and performance with healthy and engaged employees, it's a game changer. But it can't be done by bombarding your employees with one change initiative after another. The barrage of initiatives that many organizations require of their employees often has the opposite effect and reduces the overall organizational capacity for change. And as a result, you get less real change and the status quo is reinforced. But an organization that can adapt without major disruptions to its operation can use change for growth. Achieving that goal requires systems thinking. Systems thinking is a way to explore, to understand the interrelationships among the various parts of your organization. Systems thinking is holistic thinking, and it is an essential element for healthy and sustainable organizational change. Whenever I think of systems thinking, I'm reminded of this classic children's song called Dem Bones. And don't worry, I'm not going to sing it. But it goes something like the toe bone is connected to the heel bone, the foot bone, the heel bone is connected to the foot bone to the leg bone. Well, you get the idea. And for all of you anatomy folks out there, I know the bone structure is more complicated than that song. But your organization is similar. Your organization is more than just a collection of isolated parts. It's an integrated, multidimensional system. And as a system, your organization has a character. It has a rhythm that is separate, distinct, and much greater than any one individual part. Put in the comments section if you've ever launched a change you believe only affected one area. It was your decision to make, and only to find that as you began to implement that change, it started to stall out or derail because it affected people in another area of the organization and they weren't quite on board and you felt like they had put up the roadblocks. Or if you've ever created a change in one area of your organization only to find that it created more problems and required more changes in other areas of the organization. Thus, all of these things setting up the stage for a vicious cycle of change that never really addresses the problem, creates change fatigue and burnout, and solves a problem in one area, but perhaps creates bigger problems in another area. When you view organizational changes holistically, when you integrate systems thinking into your change leadership practice, no change is an isolated event. You see them as a series of interrelated transitions. And when you begin to understand change in that context, in the context of the whole operation, both the other changes that are going on and the operational environment, then you're in a position to create sustainable change. And that's what systems thinking does. Systems thinking allows you to look beyond the individual parts, see the interactions, the interdependencies of all the changes in your organization and to your operation. Learning to use system thinking has many benefits for your organizational change efforts. Today, I'd like to talk about two of those benefits. First of all, when you apply and integrate systems thinking into your change leadership, you prevent solving one problem only to create problems in other areas. I already talked about your organization is a multidimensional system. Even if you're a small organization, it's multidimensional. And when you apply systems thinking to enabling change, you get to see and address hidden interconnections, things you might not have noticed within your organization. Those relationships and interdependencies become more visible, and how they're going to impact the various areas or the employees become visible, and you can address them during the change process. Every organizational change, regardless of its size, is going to send ripples through the organization. The extent to which any one ripple or wave will affect your organization or the people who you need to do the heavy lifting will depend on the magnitude of the change and your ability to recognize and assess those ripples. Prepare the people who are going to receive the ripples of that change. When you approach organizational change as a single event or project, you're more likely to overlook all but those most immediate ripples or waves. One client shared with me how their organization was celebrating the success of a change implemented in one department to reduce inefficiencies. And it was, for that department, a successful change. But the changes from that initiating department cascaded to her department and several other departments in the organization. And because they weren't prepared or ready for all of that was coming, they were spending so much time responding to those changes, reworking their processes, that they weren't getting any of their other work done. And in fact, her department and some of the others had become less efficient. So the net effect for the organization was a loss in organizational effectiveness. Another benefit of integrating systems thinking into your change leadership practice is collateral change. Collateral change is the ability to achieve other strategic or desired new behaviors without consciously adding a new change initiative or project. The ability to recognize and leverage collateral change helps you achieve multiple outcomes with fewer change initiatives. You reduce the risk of change fatigue and employee burnout, and yet you're still able to accomplish those goals. I'm going to talk more about collateral change and 3 ways you can leverage collateral change in another video. So click the thumbs up button if you'd like to see that video. Integrating systems thinking into your change leadership practice is a skill. And like any skill, it needs to be practiced to gain its benefits. One of the things we help leaders do is integrate systems thinking. And we often will start with getting them to ask one question when they're about to launch their next change initiative. And that is, how does this change initiative interact and relate with change initiatives that are already occurring in the organization and our current operational environment. All right, that's it for now. We'll talk to you soon.